it be cool, cool, cool if I were hanging with you?
Today is April 2nd, which means that for most of the world it is Autism Awareness Day. I struggle with that a little bit because I think that in 2019 we have had a lot of autism awareness. I don't know. I just really feel like everyone is aware of autism at this point. And I feel like a lot of the awareness that has been spread has been used to demonize autism, has been used to demonize autistic people, and has been used to create fear, sometimes to make money for the very organizations that spread awareness on this day. So I don't light it up blue in April. And I like to think of April as Autism Acceptance Month because I think we all have a lot of autism awareness, and I think that it is time for acceptance. I think it's time for us to begin accepting people who are on the spectrum for who they are. I think it's time for us to start accepting that our autistic children are going to grow up to be autistic adults and to stay away from dangerous and unscientifically tested promises of cures that are oftentimes really dangerous for our children. I have heard a lot of people say that so-called higher functioning autism gets all the attention and that most people don't know about more severe cases. But in my experience, that hasn't been the actual reality of the situation. I feel like a lot of people do know about the type of autism that was formerly referred to as Asperger's, but they've also seen a lot of depictions in media and in some of those very scary advertising campaigns that were not helpful at all for autism acceptance about the less and nonverbal population of people who are on the spectrum too. In my years since Maggie's diagnosis, I have never once come across someone who didn't know what autism was. And I've had one person who asked me about her, who was a checker at the supermarket, who said she didn't know very much about autism and that she wished she knew more. And that is pretty much the only person who has said something along those lines. Most people probably feel like they know quite a bit at this point, even when that isn't true, even when most of what they know is stereotypes and possibly misconceptions, and sometimes even outright lies. But I really don't feel like that's what people are talking about when they talk about awareness.
Instead of this breakup, replacing this fake love, wouldn't it feel so sweet if we could skip the in between?
I don't feel like they're talking about painting a more accurate picture about what life is like for people on the spectrum or what we can do to help people on the spectrum. The type of awareness that I've often seen in commercials and on billboards doesn't really seem like it's aimed at helping adults or children transitioning to adulthood or even families who already have children on the spectrum. And I really feel like that is what we need more of. I think that we need to teach people that autism isn't scary. I think that we need to teach parents that getting a diagnosis for your child, that having that label is actually a really good thing because it can open up doors and it can help your child get the resources that they need to meet their full potential. I think that we need to break apart and smash the stigma that has been attached to autism in the past. And we're not going to do that by making it seem like a scary thing so that we can raise more money for giant nonprofits who haven't done very much to help people who are actually on the spectrum. I think we can stop wasting our time proving over and over again that vaccines don't cause autism, because they don't. And actually focus on how we can help people who are not neurotypical function in a world that isn't designed for the way that their brains work. The world would be a really boring place if we all thought exactly the same way. And if our brains all worked the same way, it would be a poorer place, and we would all be the poorer for it too. So this April, don't just focus on awareness. Focus on spreading acceptance. Or if you are spreading awareness, make sure you're letting people know that autism isn't some terrifying thing. That yes, people on the spectrum often face certain challenges, whether those challenges are sensory or communication, but that they often have strengths as well. We shouldn't just embrace them because of their strengths or because of what they offer to society. We should embrace them because they're a part of our communities, because they're here with us and they're part of us. They deserve to be here just as much as we do. They aren't less than us. We're all just different. We all struggle with things, and I don't know about you, but if somebody wanted to cure me of who I was as a person and the way that my brain worked, even with all its imperfections and eccentricities, I would be pretty upset. There's some food for thought. So yes, this is an autism channel. We are going to be talking about autism even more during the month of April, but it will be through the lens of autism acceptance, because that is exactly what the world needs right now. If you're new to our channel, my name is Cammie, and I have two daughters who have been diagnosed with autism. Maggie, who is now 8, was diagnosed when she was 3, and Tessie, who is almost 3. She is 33 months, I think I figured out the other day for a different post, was diagnosed when she was 18 months old. And we've been pretty suspicious basically her entire life that she was on the spectrum, because she was kind of a mini-me of her older sister.
Hey, sweetness. Are you cuddling your baby?
Baby Tessie?
Yeah? You gonna give her kisses?
Tessie?
Tessie.
How come you made me a bunk bed?
Sadie's with the doctor, Megs.
Tessie?
Sadie.
How come you made me a
Yep, that's Tessie.
Doctor?
Yeah, Sadie's with the doctor.
How come you made me a bunk bed?
I need to brush your hair. It's a little wild.
How come you made me a bunk
So you'd have more room on the floor.
Instead of this breakup, you could stay as a friend to me. And oh, how I hate this pointless week, the 17 days without any sleep. I think I lost someone, think I lost someone, think I lost someone. I think I lost someone, think I lost someone, think I lost someone.
You took her over to eat breakfast with her?
My baby's bubble bubbles.
We talk about all things autism here, and so if you are interested in that and in following along with our family, we would love it if you'd hit that subscribe button. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.